Hello, welcome to Recitation 11. In this recitation, we would like to practice spreadsheets functions. Before this recitation, you also need to go into Canvas. Go into the Files tool, click the folder called Recitation Information. Click into the folder called Recitation Files. Then look at the file called example2 XLSX. Then click and download this spreadsheet. After that, you need to double click on this file and then open this example2. So our first job will be about the first spreadsheet, which is flower shop sales worksheet. The first task is to write your name here. I write it as Weizhi. Next, we should insert a formula for today's date. The formula for today's date is equal today and a pair of brackets, then press tab. So now you can see today is April 7th. Now let's come to compute the sales tax, gross income, net income, and need to reorder columns. We have several columns to finish. The first column we need to compute is gross income. It is equal to price times the number sold. So the price is located in C5. So this one will equal to, and the number of sold will be located within F5. So gross income will equal to C5 times F5, right? Press tab. This is a gross income. And you can use autofill to compensate for the left columns. Next part is the sales tax, which is equal to rate times gross income. The rate is located in G1, and because it is fixed, then we need to use the absolute referencing. So this one will equal to absolute G1 times the gross income, which is located in G5. Then press tab. Use autofill, finish it. The net income will equal to gross minus sales tax. So it will be equal to G5 minus H5. This is the net income. Press tab. And you can use the autofill to finish it. Next part, we need to decide whether we need to just reorder because our keeping is not enough. So maybe we need to reorder the flowers. We should use the if function, and the decision condition is whether the buckets in stock is smaller than 20. So the function is if, and after if, the first parameter is a logical test, and it should be D5, which is buckets in stock smaller than 20. And the second one, it should be value if true. So the value if true is yes, right? And the value if false is no, which means that if D5 is larger or equal to 20, we don't need to reorder. This is the formula for the E column, which is whether we need to reorder. And decision condition is the number of buckets in stock is smaller than 20. If true, we need to reorder, and the value will be yes. If not, the value will be no. Then press tab. And because the buckets in stock for roses is 7 and it is smaller than 20, we need to reorder. So right here it is yes. We can also use autofill to just complete the following lines, and we can just change the formatting, change the alignment. We can put it in the center area, or we can move to the right. Move to right. Okay. Now we have finished the columns for need to reorder, gross income, sales tax, and net income. Let's come to the next task. Because after we calculated the sales tax, we have many decimal places. Like for different number, we have 4 decimal places. In the previous recitation, we have talked about how to use the format cells to change the number of decimal places. And in this recitation, we can introduce another function to round in the number, which is called round. So we can use the round function, which is round. And for the first parameter of the round function is a number. Next is the number of digits or number of decimal places. We can use it as 2. We can say now sales tax has been shifted to has been rounded to 2 decimal places, and we can use the autofill. You can see the sales tax is rounded to 2 decimal places. And sometimes, if we change the number of digits to a negative number, its functionality is to round the number to the left of the decimal point. Like if we want round it to -2, we change the number of digits to -2, and then we will round this number to the nearest 10. You can see now we have if we want to round this number to the nearest 10, it should be -1. Okay, you can see actually the true result is 256, and if we round it into nearest 10, it should be 260, right? It should be 260. And I just introduced this function, and we still keep it as 2 decimal places here. Okay. This is the usage of the round function, which is round, and the first parameter is the number we want to round, and second is the number of digits. We also need to just round the net income into currency formatting, and we should select this column of net income and right click on this area, then click for format cells. We need to select a currency, and the symbol is US dollar, US. Then the decimal places will be 2. Okay, click OK. We can also change the formatting of sales tax rate into just the percentage format. We change it to percentage, and the decimal places, we can save it as 2. Yeah, this is the usage of formatting editing of different cells, different kind of cells. Okay. Now, our next task is to finish the line or row 16, which is to calculate the column totals. And for the number in bracket, it is pretty simple, which is equal to sum, and it is from B4 to B14, right? And the prices and the brackets in stock, we can use autofill. And for the E column, which is need to reorder column, we have give you some reminders. which is to use the countif functions to count the number of reorders. So for this one, we use the countif function, countif, and the reminders tell us that first is the data range, which is E4 to E15, right? And next one is criteria, and we just want to calculate the number of yes within this column. So the criteria is yes, which means that if the cell has a value of yes, and we will add 1 to our summary. And this is the means of criteria. Then press tab, you can see the result of this counting function returns the result of 4. And we can count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 yes in total. And this is the usage of counting function. Next, we should also fit in the median, mean, and max cells using some appropriate functions. Okay, for the median is median, and the range should be also the same. The median and the range is still B4 to B14. Then press tab, and you can just autofill to the D20 cell. And the maximum is equal to max B4 to B14, and use the autofill. And the mean is min function, mean function, and the range is still the same, is B4 to B14, and you can use autofill to complete the C23 and the D23. Okay, this is the usage of median, maximum, and minimum functions. Now we should count the number of items with values, and the number of items with numbers only, and number of items with text only. We will introduce some functions, including counter A, count, and countif. Okay, so the first part is number of items with values. The values can be text or numbers. So this function we will use right here is count A. This is a function of count A. The reminders tell us that this usage is to count the number of cells in the range that are not empty. And first is the range, which is B4 to B14, right? We can press tab, and you can see right here there are 11 rows, and there is no cell which are empty. And for example, if we just remove the value located in B14, then I'm sorry, I think in some previous setting I mixed wrong about the data range. It should be B5 to B14. So right here it should be B5 to B14. And so now there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we change the range to B5 to B14, and the result is 10, which means that we have 10 cells which are not empty, which means that there are at least some text or numbers in the cells we calculated. And if we move the number located in B14, we can remove this number out. We make the cell as blank. Now you can see the number of items with values has been changed to 9. Okay. This is the usage of contain function, and we can use the autofill to just compensate for them for the next columns. And if we want to calculate the number of items with numbers only, we should use the function called count. The count function is to count the number of cells in the range that contains numbers. And the range is B5 to B14. Press tab. And we can also use autofill. The result is 10. Right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 cells which contains the numbers. The result is 10. And if we want to compute the number of items with text only, we should use another function, which is called countif. And the range is also B5 to B14. And the criteria here is only a star. The star right here represents for any text, and it is included within a pair of blank quotations. And the star means any text. So if we make the criteria as any text, the counting function will return the number of items with text only. Next step, you can see there is no text here. If we change the data located in B14 as 8, and you can see the number of items with text only has been changed to 1. Okay, we change to the original data. We can also use autofill. The number of items with text only will all be 0. We can autofill to the column E, and you can see the number of items with text is 10. You can see the column E, the need to reorder column. Every cell in this column is text. Okay. This is the introduction to countif function, count function, and countif function. So let's do a summary. If you want to calculate the number of items with values, which means that they are not empty, please use a countif. And for the items with numbers, please use the count function. For the items with text only, use the countif function, and criteria is a star, representing any text. Okay, cool. Sometimes when we design a worksheet, we should be very careful about the proportions of width and height. And for this worksheet, it's clear that the width is too large and height is too small. And maybe sometimes we want to change the orientation of this worksheet from the horizontal to vertical. And you can click the page layout tab and click orientation and change it to landscape. Hang on a second. And this page layout has been changed. The difference is not clear when we just in the mode of editing. And if we want, the difference is very clear when we print out the documents. Like right now, the orientation is landscape, and we can have a quick review of the printing, and it is very reasonable. If we change the orientation into the original format of portrait, and we can have a quick review of the printing, the structure is not reasonable. This is something we need to be very careful when we want to print out the documents. We need to select a very appropriate orientation for your document, considering the partition of between the width and the height. Okay, we change it to landscape. Till now, we have finished the first worksheet, which is a flower shop sales worksheet. Now we can click into the worksheet 2, which is called Gradebook. We can also zoom in this worksheet. So for this Gradebook worksheet, our task is very familiar during your study. We have a list of names and points. Like for Bob, he has got 90 points, and for Lucas, the point is 80. And the next one is for Maria, she has got a point of 95, and we should just give the letter grade A, B, C, D given the points, and then we should give some comment to the letter grade. If we want to just decide the letter grade given the points, we should use the function which is called VLOOKUP. For VLOOKUP function, we should have a lookup table, and the lookup table has been given within the worksheet called grades. If we click into the grades worksheet, you can see a lookup table for letter grade. So first boundary is 0. From 0 to 50, the letter grade will be F. From 50 to 65, the letter grade will be D. From 65 to 80, the grade will be C. And the next is B. And the best, which is larger than 90, the grade will be A. This is a lookup table for letter grade, and also there is a lookup table for grade comment. Like for letter grade A, this is distinction, and for F, it is fail a lot. This is a VLOOKUP table, and we're going back to the gradebook worksheet. Now, let's just add the formula VLOOKUP. Reminders tell us that VLOOKUP looks for value in the leftmost column of the table and then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. This is the basic introduction to VLOOKUP function, and the first parameter is the lookup value. The lookup value is very clear, right? The lookup value is B2, which is the points, and we should use this VLOOKUP value to search in the lookup table. Next one is the table area, and this is the area or the range of the VLOOKUP table, and it is located in the gradebook worksheet. So now we are within the worksheet called gradebook, and if we want to just cite or call some other cells located in another worksheet, we should first write the name of the worksheet as grade, and then with an exclamation. And because the VLOOKUP table is fixed, we also use the absolute referencing. So it should be A4. This is the VLOOKUP table range is from A4 here to B8, right? This is from A4 to B8. Okay. VLOOKUP B5 grades A4 and to B8, right? And next is the column index number. This is the column index that we want to present as a values in this cell. And because you can just record the grades worksheet, the VLOOKUP table. Left is the decision boundary from 0 to 50 to 65. And the right column, the second column is the letter grade value. So right here, the value of the column index number is 2. And for the last fourth parameter, the true representing that it is approximate match and first is exact match. Right here, we should make it as true because we need to decide what we want to decide is to consider the range, which is from 0 to 50. We don't need to make the exact match. We just need to search that. Oh, sorry. The decision value is B1 or B2 right here, B2. And next is table array. Next is column index number is 2. And we should have the approximate match. So the last parameter is true. Press tab. And it's clear that it is the letter grade for point 90 is A. And you can use autofill. Or we make it as, we move it to right, change the alignment as right. And you can do the verification. Our letter grade for different points is correct. For the comment, the function is VLOOKUP, and the lookup value is C2. Table array is also grades exclamation. That is our VLOOKUP table is from A13 to B14. A13 to B14. Okay. The VLOOKUP A13 to B14. A13 to B14. And the column index number is 2. And right here we should write false because we want the exact match, which means that A is corresponding to one specific comment and B is equal to another specific comment. Oh, sorry. False. Okay, press tab. So for A, it is distinction. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry. Actually, the range has some small bugs. It is B17 from A13 to B17. Okay. Autofill. Yeah, this is the correct result. For C, it is pass. For D, it is fill. And for A, it is distinction. And for F, it is filling a lot. We can change the alignment to right. And we can also compute the average for the points. So it is equal to average. And it is B2 to B12. And for median, it is B2 to B12. For high risk, it is equal to max B2 to B12. For the mean, it is B2 to B12. We can also change the formatting into 2 decimal places. Yeah, this is the average, median, high risk, and low risk calculation. Next is about the number passing. The number passing, we can use the countif, and the range is also B2 to B12. The criteria is larger than 60. Give me a second. Criteria should be, so first is large, and next you should, this is the right criteria. If we want to decide whether the number is smaller than 60, you should write it like this. So first is a pair of quotation, and it is larger than sign, and then it is an and sign, and after that is a value, which is 60. This is a criteria for larger than 60. And press tab. The countif is returns a number of 9. It is the number of passing. is 9, and the number of fitting is only B2 count if B2 to B12 and smaller than 60. Number is 2. Okay. Now, maybe we can just add some conditional formatting to the points. Like if the grid is larger than 80, we make it as green. If the grid is between 65 to 80, we make it as yellow. If the grid is larger than it's smaller than 65, and we make it as red. So first, we should select the data area from A2 to B12, then click the conditional formatting, highlight cells which is greater than, like greater than 80, and we make it as green. Oh, sorry, we should only select the points column. '80, we make it as, sorry, we should make it as green if the grid is larger than 80. And if it is less than 65, we make it as red. If it is between 65 to 80, we make it as yellow. Okay, now it is the conditional formatting. We just change the color of the points given the range of the points. Okay, now we can sort the columns given the descending order of the points. So we should select the area from A1 to D12. We can click the sort and filter button, and we should click the customer sort, and we should sort by the points and sort on the values, and we make it as a descending order, which is from largest to smallest. Okay, please click OK. You can see the points has been changed to a descending order from the largest to the lowest. The largest is 96 and the smallest is 34. This is the usage of sorting. Okay, we have done all the job for gradebook worksheet, and let's come to the last worksheet, which is loans. So for the loans, for this worksheet, our first task is to calculate the APR. APR representing for annual percentage rate, and we should use the VLOOKUP function to just search and get the APR, annual percentage rate. The VLOOKUP table is located within D4 to E6, and of course the lookup value is located in the F column. So please imagine what should be the VLOOKUP function formula. You can just stop this video and think about this for 2 minutes, and then click continue to just get the result. The result should be VLOOKUP lookup value is F2, and lookup table is D4. It should be absolute referencing D4 to E6. And the column index number is also 2. That's a press tab. So for here, it is 2 because it is approximate match. Oh, sorry, it is F9. Oh, sorry, it's F9. So the API for 25 years, it is 6.75%, and we use autofill to get all the APRs. Now, next task is to compute the monthly payment. The monthly payment, for computing the monthly payment, we can use the PMT function. The PMT function is to calculate the payment for loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. And the first is the interest rate. The interest rate is located in G9. Actually, there is a mismatch problem here because for the APR, it is called annual percentage rate. But if we want to calculate the monthly payment, the rate should be a monthly percentage rate. And the calculation formula from an APR annual percentage rate to monthly percentage rate is to divide the APR by 12. So the rate should be G9 minus number of payments per year, which is located in B5. B5 and the NPR means for number of payments periods, and this one is also B5. Sorry, the number of periods is F9. It should be F9 because we have 25 years, and for 1 year we have 12 payments, so the number of periods should be B5 times F9, and because the number of payments per year is fixed, so for B5 it is absolute referencing, but for years, different person has different number of loan years, and this is relative referencing as F9. And the next number is D9. The D9 is amount financial. We have 3 parameters for PMT function. First is the rate, but if we only have the APR, we should divide the APR by number of payments per year. And next is the payments in total, which is equal to number of payments per year times the number of years. And last one is the amount financed. This is the usage of PMT function. First step, we have calculated the monthly payment. And for monthly insurance, this one is very easy to calculate. It is equal to loan amount times monthly insurance rate, and the payment amount is D9, and times, because there is still the mismatch problem here, so the insurance rate is also annually, so we should divide the insurance rate by number of payments per year, so it is B6 over B5. First step, it is monthly insurance. Okay, this is a calculation for monthly insurance. And at the end of this recitation, because we have 4 points as TA actual points to give you, now we have a small question. which is worth of 2 TA extra points. The question is like this. The number of payments per year for calculating the monthly payment in our original setting, the number of payments is 12 per year. So if we change the number of payments per year as 24, so and the APR and the insurance rate will be kept as the same. So what should be the monthly payments for the person 101? What is the monthly payment for the person 101 if the number of payments per year has been changed to 24? So you should give the answer here. And this answer is worth of 2 points, 2 TA extra points. And later I will just send you an announcement and also a Google form link. You can just submit your result. Okay, bye.